Have you ever wanted to run for office? Have you ever wondered what it needed before you run? Or have you ever wanted to know if you have the right stuff? Yeah, that's a pun for the movie. Right. But hey, astronauts in space, candidates, and politics. Not too much difference there. This episode will be broken into 6 sections. We will be covering 6 basic elements: physical and emotional impact, political etiquette, event support staff, shepherding programs, fundraising attitudes and preparation, and finally, number 6, speech preparation. Let's start with number 1, physical and emotional impact. Physically, campaigns are extremely demanding. It's like that job where you're on the clock 12 to 14 hours a day and on call the rest of your free time. If you're a 4-year candidate, in other words, every 48 months you'll be running, then you will be working 100% of the time for at least 20 of those months. There will be a break from campaigning for a couple of years, but those are usually swallowed up by the governing part, if elected. On the emotional impact, I try to prepare them for the hard truth, always keeping in mind that the harsh impact that my words may have on them. Try to keep this in mind. The truth must be served like a coat, not thrown in the face like a wet towel. That was from Mark Twain, and these words contain wisdom. The impact on their lives will be heavy. Family, friends, children, relationships will take a backseat to campaigning. Additionally, I will share with them that they will experience great surprise and unexpected support, and great disappointment in those who do not support them, and great conflict in dealing with some people with negative personality types. I'll tell the candidates that I personally am consistently removing negative personality types from my life. And while that's easy for me, even with family, dang holidays. Anyway, a candidate cannot do this. They can, however, learn to redirect them away from being a poison to them as much as possible. And I think that the hardest mathematical advice I give is that the candidate will not be able to please everyone. While they might try, my hopes are is that they will learn this math, because it is what success would be. Here's what I mean by that. In politics, you only need 50% plus 1 to achieve your goal. Therefore, a 5-member council or a 5-member supervisorial board, you'll only need 3 for a majority. And while this math is simple, it can cause emotional weight. Finally, I think the most sensitive, if not awkward, is the discussion of the 3 fatal diseases or poisons in politics: money, power, and sex. I also refer to them as the Kool-Aid that a candidate will be offered to drink. I try to warn them to avoid these 3 at all costs. Those personality types that embody those negatives will bring them down. And the easiest way to avoid these poisons is to never stop looking for them. Never pretend that they do not exist. For this, hope has always been my faithful companion here. Political etiquette. In this area for the candidate, I use the 10-30-second rule for leaving an impression on a new person or a voter. Let's face it, whether your district has 10,000 voters or 500,000 voters, your goal is to leave an impression on as many as possible. Okay, 50% plus 1, that's what we need to win. So, there are 4 basic areas of etiquette that I focus on, and I'll start with attire. You will find image and color consultants in politics, and I'm not a fan. I tell my clients, just be appropriate and respectful in your attire. Sure, there are colors that represent power, and there are types of clothing as well. I also tell my clients, learn to adapt, expand your consideration of others, and you'll do just fine. I also add that if you're going to go to a debate, and then maybe that color power thing would work for you. But if you're going to a barbecue, tone it down and be as approachable as you can. Now, number 2, I'm going to throw a curveball. Tattoos, cover them, but only cover them respectfully. Do not try and hide them as it might seem as you're ashamed of them. Be neutral, respectful, and understanding if you can. Now, let's go ahead to alcohol. Avoid being seen drinking alcohol or having any alcohol beverage in your hands at all times, no matter what. 4, personal interactions. I'm referring mainly to your staff when staff is with you. Embody these 3 words: egalitarianism, respect, and teamwork. And remember, eyes and ears are always on you. Event support. While the candidate is out and about, they should always employ an event support person or person. This will help the candidate navigate all events. Everything should be about the management of time, the collection of resources, and support. Here's my basic formula. I use an example, A times 5, or 20 people at an event. You want to speak to each person, even if just to introduce yourself. So if you decide to spend 5 minutes with each person, carefully managed by your event support staff, then you will need 1 hour and 40 minutes. Usually only needed at a big event. Of course, the volume of people at the event will be the deciding factor in how much time you can spend with each person. Number 5, shepherding programs. Even though we've covered this a bit in the past episodes, it is important that you organize this part of your candidate's development process, regardless if you have a new candidate or an experienced one. No one knows all the details and facts about something, or anything for that matter. Look, we all know the concept of a specialist. What is less known is the concept of a generalist. To be of service to everyone, you must strive to be more of a generalist. Always learning, always willing to accept your errors, and always adapting, and always keep an open mind. For this reason, you need to develop something like a summer school or an immersion education program. Yeah, we simply call them shepherding programs, to present you to all the things you do not know. The importance of political or district knowledge will be paramount to your candidate, especially on new candidates. Let's list what I believe are the 3 basic areas a candidate should know: organizational charts and staffing, budgets, rules, bylaws, and their charters, elements like police, fire, and public works, demographics, voters, and general public demographic, general plan, elected official compliances. 2, skills needed: public speaking, either classes or Toastmaster, Robert's Rules of Order, or knowing the meeting's process, Brown Act, Hatch Act for more interactions with elected officials. Your candidate should understand them all, and with proper preparation, you will. Clearly, the ability to debate, convince, negotiate, and compromise. Now, 3, understanding personality type. A, common sense tells you that if you are a person dedicated to all, the negative personality types are bad for you. Avoid them if possible. So this is just to name a few points. What I find interesting is that years ago, decades ago actually, we would have had to hunt and search for shepherds. But in today's times, we have the internet. You can find almost anything you need to learn there. Just be cautious, but take advantage of it. And while you should place your emphasis on actual shepherds, you always have this as an alternative. Number 5, fundraising attitudes and preparations. Here we're going to focus on the attitudes and psychological preparations of the subject. There seems to be a lot written about what personality types do the best in political fundraising, but I neither do an analysis of my candidate in this manner, nor do I try and change them. I focus only on informing and educating them, preparing them. Mainly, what I share with them is to be prepared for surprises and or disappointments. If you do, then the effort is half completed. Regardless, unless you are self-funding your campaign or you sell your vote, FYI, don't do this. If you do, I'm gone. Or be a George Santos. Yeah, don't worry. I would have weeded you out in the beginning. You must fundraise. Also, be cautious of the easy way, because there is no such thing. If a candidate comes to me and says, my committee wants to have a lot of fundraisers, I'll lower my head in disappointment, because those are the worst ROI, or return on investments, in this process. Campaign time is short and valuable. The ask can be easy or hard, depending on the candidate and the techniques they use. I offer help here as well. My last piece of advice, yeah, you've heard that before. Fundraising can be a gateway to traveling down a bad path, a gateway to the proverbial they drank the Kool-Aid. Stay centered, stay focused, and never lose track of your purpose. And stay away from the Kool-Aid. Speech preparation. Glossophobia refers to a strong fear of public speaking. If this is you, do not run or become a leader in any way. If this is not you, welcome to this section. There will be objections to your thoughts. Yes. Will there be hecklers? Yes. Will there be mistakes in your speech? Yes. Deal with it. And be prepared always. Stand tall in stature and strong in character. I personally am a follower of Stoicism. Therefore, I follow the virtues of Stoic speech. Yep, not enough for me though. Therefore, I season the 5 with the following: honesty, sincerity, compassion, and belief in your purpose. If you believe in yourself, your purpose and goals, then this should simply be a process of presenting. I know, easier said than done. I'll buy that comment, but only for $1. But hey, if your advised technique is to view your audience dressed in chicken suits or dancing the Macarena, knock yourself out. If this was helpful, please hit the subscribe, like, and notification. And please feel free to buy me a cup of coffee. It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for joining me. See you in the next episode of Fundraising. A su servicio is Spanish for at your service. Just adelante. Goodbye.